From the beginning of time, playing a part in a movement has been the innate dream of every individual. To be a piece of something bigger than yourself, to see dreams realized that could never happen alone, to move the world forward. As generations pass through existence, very few have been lucky enough to catch glimpses of greatness moving our world forward, and even fewer have taken part in such movements. Malala Yousafzai was born in Pakistan. Like her father, she became a campaigner against the Taliban's efforts to stop girls going to school. In 2012, at the age of 15, Malala boarded her school bus in the northwest Pakistani district. A gunman asked for her by name, then pointed a pistol at her and fired 3 shots. Malala was shot in the head on her way home from school by members of the Taliban. She miraculously survived, and in 2014, she became the youngest recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize. During the U.S. Civil Rights Movement, a young girl named Claudette Colvin was arrested for refusing to give up her seat on a Montgomery bus. She was only 15 years old, and this happened 9 months before Rosa Parks made her stand. Around the turn of the century, child labor was ending and a new second stage of life emerged. Adolescent misfits were seen as a social problem that needed to be controlled. In 1908, a British man named Baden-Powell said that he found a solution to the problem of youth. He made a military training manual for the young called Scouting for Boys, and it became a manifesto of the Boy Scout movement. Because of one man's belief, young boys were transformed from misfits into confident, strong men. But greater than all of these movements was one that began 2,000 years ago. A young first-century rabbi took his place against the backdrop of religious stagnation. And in the face of Roman imperial oppression, he chose merely 12 misfits to move the world forward. What you may not know is that these men were not yet men at all, but boys, thought to range from ages 15 to 20. Jesus could have chosen anyone, and he chose youth to change the world with a simple message. And since that moment, 2,000 years ago, our God has chosen young people to implement movements of love, movements of grace, movements of truth. We are a chosen generation. We have been called for such a time as this. In the midst of hate, we default to love. In the midst of injustice, we demand grace. In the midst of personal truths, we declare one absolute, unchanging truth. Our God is love. We are moving the world forward. This is Forward Movement.